listening to him and hearing his thoughts and spending time in the company of the excellent Mr. Kenny Budd.
Hello, Canterbury!
Hello!
How are we?
Good.
Yeah. Who's travelled in tonight? Who's not from Canterbury? Rain. Feel free to kind of shout or cheer or clap if I ask you something. So, who's travelled in? Yeah. Okay. And who's a student? Yeah, what a surprise. Okay, I'm a student, and as you as students all know, we can't afford anything if it's not on offer. I buy everything on offer and only buy it if it is on offer, and that does extend to condoms. Well, no, because, right, you're practically paying for sex, right, so you might as well wait until it's a little bit cheaper. Well, it's distracting if you're like, oh god, there's another 75p. It is off-putting, I know, last of the old romantics, aren't they? But no, I do give my girlfriend quite a tough time, but we had we had a really nice heart-to-heart the other night, and she said to me, "How is that dirty?" She said to me, "Kenny, there's only one way that I think is right, and for me it's monogamy." And you know, a lot of guys, right, we'd be freaked out by that, wouldn't we? I wasn't freaked out because I love hardwood furniture. So everything like a dresser, and it's quite nice. So we were lying in bed the other day, and she said, "Kenny, it's really unfair that my bed is always cold when I come to bed, and my housemate's bed is always warm. We pay the same rent, we pay for the same gas bill. Why is it's just not fair?" And I said, "You know what? You're right. That's not fair." And you know, I'm a proactive guy, so I thought, you know, I'll do something about it. So now I sleep with a housemate, and it is warmer. But I think you can't be cruel all the time, and so I thought I'd treat her a little bit by getting some glow-in-the-dark condoms. Girls over there like, oh, she was my boyfriend. Right. But what a way to find out that she was epileptic. No, because it was awkward, because I just thought that she was really enjoying it. It does actually turn out that she's epileptic, so you can get quite a strobe effect if you... It makes the climax quite interesting. Yeah. But sometimes, you glow in the dark, you know, you've got to kind of charge it up, so you wait until she's in the bathroom, you're there with a 70-watt lamp going, come on. But like, no, you laugh, but you can start a bushfire that way, and you're in there for 7 minutes. So sometimes, you know, it's best just to leave like intercourse out of the way, and I've heard of like quite an interesting alternative actually. It's called oral sex. And it's basically where you do it in the woman's ear, right? I know, but you have to use a condom. Right, I'm not saying it's completely safe. You have got to watch out for hearing aids. Yeah, it never gets a better reaction. Yet I always put it back in. Getting the pun unstoppable. So, you know, sometimes sex out of the way, like a cold shower. But even the pleasure of a cold shower is being removed from my clutches, right? Do you know about, like, sauce shower gel? Do you know sauce shower gel?
Yeah.
Christ for that. 5 minutes was going to be tough. But they do, like, weird flavours, like orange and apple and roast beef. And has anyone ever had the spearmint shower gel? Yeah, right. My God, right. I won this in a raffle when I thought, I'm going to use it, right? So I thought, invigorating. I should have paid more attention to that. So I thought, okay. That really is quite tingly. Oh, wash it off. It is like trying to dunk your balls in mouthwash. That is. We end up with an arse like a polo bin. It's quite exhilarating. I actually don't even wash now on a moderately windy day because straight back inside the house. And anyway, where in the Kama Sutra does it say that mint is a sexy smell? You know what, maybe getting intimate with your girlfriend and she's going down on you maybe. And she goes, ooh, do I detect mint? God, baby, that makes me so horny. And you're just thinking, I'm glad you're enjoying it, but can you try not to breathe down there too much? My grandfather there is you know, he's not laughing, but then he did confuse Colgate with Savlon, so it's quite close to his heart. Or something else. And another thing that annoys me about the shower is, like, guys, we have 2 products in the shower, don't we? Like shampoo, body wash, 2 products. Well, there's a guy at the back who's saying, oh, I've got 2 in 1. You win at life. But like girls, they have like, there are 3 guys in our house, right? 6 bottles. 1 girl, 40 bottles. How many flavours does she need her vagina to be? For God's sake, let's have a gooch like a Neapolitan ice cream. Which leads me on nicely to drugs. Seamless segue number 1. I've always had like quite a conservative view of drugs, and it was quite simple for me up until a point, because I thought, right, I'm never going to inject anything, I'm never going to smoke anything, so drugs, not a problem. But I quite like cake. Interesting, the stuff we were getting at is half not. So I went to this party, and this cake was being off the ground. Beautiful, tiny pieces, cut into tiny pieces. We'll know all the prospects are, because everyone's laughing now. Tiny pieces of fudge, Sainsbury's fudge brownie. And someone came up to me and said, would you like some homemade special cake? Oh, God, yeah, what an honour, I love cake. So I had a piece, and I had another piece. And then I noticed that the pieces were quite small. So when people were leaving the bits that they hadn't eaten, I thought, well, nobody's going to miss them. So I had those. About 20 minutes later, and then a couple of bottles of wine later, someone came up to me, she said, so how's the cake? I said, oh, it's great. She says, you know it's special cake, don't you? I said, it's really great. It's the best I've ever had. What's so special about it? She said, it's got a special ingredient. I'm like, what? She said, you don't know? No. It's loaded with hash. It's been very carefully measured. How much have you had? You shouldn't have more than 1 or 2. 9. So now I'm like, oh my God, fuck, I'm about to be the most stoned, drunk person in the world. And at this point, apparently, you're not supposed to get panicked or paranoid. Shit. So for the next hour, I just spent in the kitchen looking down going, fuck me. I've got small legs. But, you know, just because I'm someone who really shouldn't ever dabble in drugs, because people take the piss out of me for not even being able to hold my drink. I mean, I have about 4 pints, that's my maximum, and after that my stomach's just really jippy. And I don't even have the full strength stuff, I have the half strength stuff, semi-skimmed. 2, 1, wait for that. Okay. But I don't blame other people for like dabbling in drugs, because sometimes for us, like particularly in Canterbury, there's barely an alternative sometimes. Like, maybe an exaggeration. I think there is now next time. But like cinema, do we like the cinema? Like into cinema? Yeah. No shit. Right. And I concur, right? Because you go to places like Odeon and they charge you a ridiculous price, and then they tell you, no, this is what our punters want. They want to pay twice the price to get the nice cinema with the. But no, you don't. You get treated like cattle, and you don't get shown to your seat anymore, and you have the bucket of ice with optional Pepsi. And then if you've got fillings, then the popcorn is like Russian roulette, right? And you've got to keep your dentist on speed dial at all times. And then you get there and you find that they've only got it on in 3D. You think, Christ, 3D, Christ, alright. So you pay twice the price again, only to find that you've left your 3D glasses at home. Brilliant, yeah. And then you get the same film, but with the added bonus of boss eyes and nausea. It takes you 20 minutes to leave the auditorium, and when you do, you get out to the car park and promptly vomit all over your shoes. Well, if that's a quality 3D experience, I can get the same thing with 2 good mates and 6 pints of scrumpy. And in future, I will. Because I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll make some film at home, right? I'll aim for a niche market that no one's ever done a film about before. I thought, how about chess enthusiasts, right? So I've written a documentary about chess enthusiasts, and I've called it Hardcore Amateur Porn. Yeah, I realise my problem now, and I am having some legal issues, unfortunately, because apparently the name was already taken. But I'm hoping to settle out of court by proposing a name change, something along the lines of extreme black and white action. Okay. Do we have any gamers in tonight?
Yeah.
Oh Christ! Come on. Does anyone play a computer game?
Yeah.
Female audience. Oh, brilliant. Okay. Well, I don't think we should be ashamed. I know there's people over here that aren't admitting it. We shouldn't be ashamed that we're gamers. Because, you know, we should be proud of the hours that we waste / use constructively in an alternative way. And anyone who's ever played a simulation game knows that you have practically done that thing in real life. Right? Which gives you perfect license at any time to watch a Hollywood action film and go, pause, I'm sorry guys, but I have played the game version of this, and the part where the helicopter pilot flies it through the tunnel is very unlikely. I have tried. And then there's not just the mental abilities that you get from gaming, there's physical attributes you get as well, like muscular control pad thumbs. Think of all the things that you've got some of you. Think of all the things that you can do with muscular control pad thumbs. I couldn't think of any, but maybe you can. There is a bit of a disclaimer on that though. Anyone who's into athletics knows that athletes, particularly Olympic hurdlers, train their muscles to such a high level that they can go into spasm and snap the bones that they're attached to. Yeah, so bear that in mind next time you're having a 5-hour Xbox session. You know. What's the matter, man? Hurdler's thumb! And I know you're all thinking it. Yep, that's right. Urine retention. Right? That's right. Who isn't thinking that? Right. All gamers can retain hours longer than anyone else. Have you ever seen a gamer do this? I'll go in 5 minutes. I'll go in 5 minutes. I just got to defeat the boss. I'll go in 5 Never mind. Pause. So, me and my housemate Steve, we've been playing Resident Evil 5. Can I usually get to cheer? Yeah, alright, patronise me, it's my degree. Please patronise me. And we've been, like, it's basically, if anyone hasn't played it, it's like a zombie survival horror game, right? Okay, the standard. And we completed the game, hurrah, but it took us 6 days, right? 6 days is a long time to play any game, especially when after that 6 days, your housemate makes you sit and watch through the credits, which are a further 20 minutes long, going, we've got to wait till the end. They'll put a reward at the end. We will be rewarded for our loyalty. Were we fuck? Thank you, Capcom, another good pair of boxers ruined. And the difficulty with playing a game for 6 days is that the lines between reality and fantasy, the real world and the fictional world, mould together. I was walking down the road. We've got a newsagent halfway down on Surrey Road, and Steve goes, "Okay, I'm just going to pop in and get a paper." I'm like, "Sure, mate. I'll cover you." He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm sorry, man. I just had a moment. Flashback. No. And then all the time he was in there, I was just out there kicking over bins just in case there was ammo inside. Just, shopkeeper wasn't pleased with that. Scratched that off as well. And I don't know about you, I live in a house share, and spiders are a serious problem. We have spider infestation. And I was around my girlfriend's house, and there was this massive spider on the bed, like, okay, I'll be on the sofa then. I'm not touching that. And she said, "Oh, you've got to get rid of it." Oh, God, alright, so I've got to be the man. Right then. I mean, I don't like them, but I don't like killing them, so I do the thing with the glass and the card. Kind of like bomb disposals. Keep as far away as possible. So I finally got this thing out with like a shovel. Dragged its carcass to the front door, and I was, this is genuine, this is true, I was so worried that this thing, being the size of my hand, plus legs, could run faster than me back to the house. And I put it on the opposite side of the road under the cup and just went, sacrifice the cup. I'm not risking that shit for any woman. So we had a similar problem back at my house, and none of my housemates like this spider thing, and they can't deal with it. And this massive spider in the middle of the kitchen. And I thought, oh, okay, I'm sizing it up, I'm getting that angle, and how fast can it run, which way is it going to go? Without a second's thought, Steve comes in. What are you doing, man? Oh, always double tap, because you don't want that thing coming back at night like... These are things you need to know if you live in a student house. I'm very fortunate to have my family here tonight. Thank you very much for coming, Dad, Mum. I'm very grateful to my parents because you know they informed my moral judgment on a lot of things, and for me. And but there are things that you don't learn from your parents. There are things that you pick up. You don't know where you pick them up, but it's part of being British, right? And like you all do it, right? Whether you know it or not, you all like to thank bus drivers. Don't know why you do it. But you do it. And if the person in front of you doesn't thank the bus driver, you don't say anything, you just go, "Thank you!" really loudly, so the person in front knows. Listen, you're a foreigner. You know, bloody international students come over here, we love Oxford. My ex-girlfriend, she was Greek, and her dad came over to visit. And that's so funny. Dude was a 7-foot basketball player, and I like, crap myself. Anyway, he got a bus ride journey, and she explained to him, "Dad, it's customary that when you get off the bus, you thank the bus driver." And he goes, "Why? It wasn't free." Fair point. And you know, like as a nation, we're proud, right? We're proud people, right? British, but we don't know why we're proud, or really what of anymore. But we know what makes us annoyed. Who knows that Dover Port is being sold off to the French?
Yeah.
Thank God, no one in London knew. Okay. They are selling it to the French. The biggest bidders at the moment are French investors, right? Have you ever been to France? They close things for random reasons. You know, can you imagine you go down there to get your ferry ticket? I'd like to buy a ticket to Calais, please. Pardon, monsieur, c'est fermé. Why is it fermé? Because c'est dimanche. Oh, okay. I'll come back on Monday then. So you come back on Monday. Can I buy a ticket to Calais, please? Pardon, monsieur, c'est fermé. But why? It is Monday. Thank you. So you come out the next day and you say, "Are you open? I will. Can we buy a ticket to Calais, please?" "Of course you can, sir, but you will not get there." "Why?" "There's a strike." And Royal Mail is being sold. Did you know that?
Yeah.
It was a sharp intake of breath. The Queen said. Did you know? Do you know who the biggest bidder is? It's between two, the Dutch and the Germans.
Oh.
Hands on our mail. Right? And I imagine, right, wouldn't it be funny if all the post was delivered by like war film extras? Whatever you say, it would be really efficient, at least, you know. Can you imagine every morning at 6 o'clock? "And your post!" And it would never be delivered to the wrong address. "Gunter, you have delivered this post to the wrong address." "I'm sorry, my postmaster, I won't do it again." "Of course you won't do it again, Gunter." Postmaster, I won't do it again. "Oh, you won't do it again, Gunter, because I have the envelope of punishment. You will not deliver to the wrong address." "I'm so sorry, Postmaster." And you wouldn't have first and second class post anymore. Oh no. We do not believe in first and second class post. All post is equal. We have learned that. Instead, we have only Fastenposten und Superfastenposten. And you will both get that at the same time. Before you are sent it. And I think that part of the reason, like, was anyone watching the royal wedding?
Yeah.
Of course you are. These liberal students. Okay, well, I'm gonna relive a scene. I'm gonna relive a scene from from the royal wedding that most of you would have seen if you watched it. And this, I think, is one of the reasons why we can't be proud as English people. Thank you. If at any time in the next 3 minutes you feel the need to stand or join in, I won't stop you. If anyone wants to take over from me, they're welcome. God save our gracious Queen, God save our glorious Queen, God save our Queen. I think what we need is to spice it up a little bit, but I've done the work for you. What I'm going to need is like quite a fast but steady clap